Okay, how's everyone doing today? Started this a little bit late, but I need to actually go over and get the winter event started on console because I hadn't done that yet. So let's go ahead and get that done. I gotta remember where everything is here, so bear with me for a moment. That's not the right button. Yeah, it doesn't help that I haven't really played on console in a little bit. Where do I go to get the event stuff again? Yeah. So I just woke up a little late. Dark Ghost Warp Core documents. Yeah, just for the first part. I'm gonna be back on PC soon. Where the hell do I go to get to? I'm on the wrong character, aren't I? Yeah. Okay. Let's start there. Yeah, wrong character. That was issue number 1. Is no good. Thank you for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. Mac. Okay, so let's go over here. Yeah, it's taking me to the winter map. Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna get the winter ship over on console here. I don't think I'll ever do a build over here that like will utilize the stuff that this ship has, but you never want to miss a ship in stow. Terrible Mac. Steel, I would go epic, especially with the giveaways they do. Like, you've got that epic starter pack right now, and if you're in the US especially, the Zen is cheaper on there during sales. Oh, I'm gonna get beat here.
Snowmen aren't taking too
Cal,
kindly
how's it
to our
going?
building a village in their territory, and they're planning an attack.
I'm well, sliding in ways I haven't in a very long time here. I don't have the greatest control over this, so I'm going a bit slow. I'll catch up on chat here in a moment. I'm trying to not fail and have to repeat this. I'm just over on console long enough to get the daily done, and then I'm going to be back on PC to test things out properly. Don't go over. No. But yeah, I would go through Epic, and that's not even just me, you know, being biased towards Epic. That's more of, like, that's where I buy my Zen, because it ends up being the cheapest. Like, right now, they got that 20% cash back, and, you know, we've got the winter sales starting up in, like, a week, right? So... And then you have the Epic Starter Pack free, which is a T6 ship, Epic Phoenix token. Like, that just is the best way to go. Ethan, how's it going? Dan, thank you for the bits. I greatly appreciate it. Okay. So there is the PlayStation Daily done. So let's just enter rest mode there and get back over to the PC. I gotta, okay, it swapped back over, good. When is the next new Muds bundle releasing? Terrible. Dan, thank you for the super chat over on YouTube. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, responding to things I missed before. Sora, you have a question regarding your secondary deflector, Control X2, EPG, hull cap SA plus damage. I would go for the epic mod, EPG hull cap is fine. I think I have mine EPG Control X. I'll check here in a moment. Yeah, Microvax, one proc of twinkling per weapon per cycle. So it basically is, you have to think of it as a debuff against your primary target. It's the same for CSV. I don't know if that's intention, if that's the intention there, but yeah, it is limiting. Um, Next promo is up now. Oh, I forgot to grab that while I was over there. Yeah, so there is the 25k experience bonus pool. Got that in the inventory now. Hyper. Steel. Yeah, I think that would be really good, for them to have a way to move accounts over, or to let us log into our account regardless of platform. I think that I think you would see a few console players move over to PC. But I think if cross-platform, like if I could just go in and log in with my PC account over on console, like if that was an option, I think you would see a lot of PC players, actually going over trying it out. Like I think PC is the far superior platform. There's no question to me about that, but I understand the value of what the console experience has for just, going in, playing in your living room or whatever. Um, I think if that was an option, if you could just log in to your account regardless of platform, you would see a lot of PC people, like, playing via console. Cross platform should be the industry. Yeah, yeah. Okay, secondary deflector. Where's my arc rail? Rubica, thank you for the sub. Yeah, so Control X APG, Control X. I have one of the what is this? The Fleet Research Lab with the energy damage buff on it. It's not that much. Yeah, Xbox is just a dead like they've lost. What wasn't it? I was seeing this, I forget where, but the that little Nex Playground console like outsold the Xbox during the recent Black Friday sales. Next, I gotta look this up. News. Yeah, so the Next Playground outsold Xbox during the Black Friday sales. That's crazy. That thing, it's cheap, but it's got like a $90 year subscription for the games on it. If I can get the page to load, I'll show. Yeah, this thing here, this little cube thing, you guys have probably seen it. That outsold the Xbox. Stove for the next playground. It's like a, and the funny thing is, I think LTT was talking about this on the WAN show last night, but the next playground is like just like a Kinect. It's like a combo of a Kinect and like a Wii U, I guess is what people are saying. So there's no remotes. It's just using the Kinect and looking at you. Yeah, it's a simple game device for kids. Willow's dad had me looking into it because he was thinking about picking one up for my niece. And I was like, it's cheap, but there's a $90 a year subscription to actually get to any of the games from the research I was doing. So yeah, the Xbox, it really is just crazy how they how hard they've fallen. Now, saying that, I am going to be doing some sponsored streams here in the near future from Xbox because they sent me a code for The Outer Worlds 2. So I got to get some streams done for that here in the next week. So I'll probably might start doing that tomorrow, just to start streaming me going through and trying that game out. I don't know if I'll like it. I never played through the first one, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. So for the rainbow setups, I've been playing around here with a few different weapons. The Terran rep cannon I haven't actually had much success with so far. Because the Terran rep cannon, it seems to have a slower travel time than other weapons. And I guess the best way for me to demonstrate that is just to put it back on and just take it into a run quick to show you guys. So I'm going to start my combat log and net graph. Got FPS going. Yeah, I'm going to just open it up with just a quick solo, just to show you guys numbers here with the Terran cannon back on, because I don't have a recent run with it. So let me go to the right loadout, keybind stream. It is unfortunately a thing. With how, with the current level of power creep for like the extreme high end, that weapon travel time is more important than what the weapons themselves are doing proc wise. So like the Terran cannon, you know, for most situations that is like just an absolute banger. Like that thing is crazy. But in a situation where you need the weapons to be traveling fast, it could fall behind. Alan, how's it going? I'm already off on some timing. So the reason I'm spamming Ilios toggles at the start is to build up stacks of the legendary Nebula trait.
Scanning the nanite transfer. Done. Additional data available. The nanite drones prepare the transfer. Stop them.
It's already not a great run.
Destroy it.
It's not the worst. There's loose 3 over there. Okay, so like 3-3. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the Terrans actually managed to keep up that time. That's surprising. I guess I'll leave those back on for now. I had a lot of runs in the... It was about 2 days back where the Terrans were coming in as my weakest of the 5 cannons I had on. But in that run, they actually managed to keep up. I'm surprised. Yeah, I've got coverts on right now. The 32nd century weapons that Dan likes also have like instant travel time. You play on Xbox, the numbers do seem low. Yeah. I got some comments about the pricing of like the winter currencies over there on console, and like that the prices I was showing in the video are like substantially lower than what is over there. And that's just a player base, you know, thing. That there's a lot more people on PC than there is over on console nowadays. So there's not as many people over there farming stuff. Sora, thank you for enabling the gamble. Is the Nebula trait worth using right now? I think there's applications for like min-max builds. I wouldn't run it on just a daily driver elite build. Like I think the trait, like if they had it at like 15 seconds, it would be a lot more usable. But as it is right now, it's a little bit rough. Like 10 seconds is a pain to maintain. Thank you, Sora, for the gamble. I appreciate it. Yeah, fewer players equals higher prices. Yeah, and that's not me like trying to just trying to trash on console or anything. It's just a matter of reality of why the prices are higher. There's just not as many people. They I think one of the best things they could do for the game would be to like just enable crossplay. Merge all of the platforms together into just one, one server basically. Now that would cause issues for PC because they would not be able to, as quickly push out updates, but like other games do it. I don't understand why the process, takes so long. Like you see other games go in and if they need to do like a hot fix, they do it. I don't know. Yeah, you can do that. Well, they've said back when they had some of the engine people on, like under the hood, things are the same. Dan, I appreciate it. Like under the hood, the things are the same. Yeah, it's not as easy as just hitting a button. Absolutely, it's not that easy. There would be things that need to be done, but Like the difference is the user interface. Like under the hood, the one of the engine people like a while back said that it's basically like the same thing. Like for like the actual back end. So Sam, no, I haven't played with that yet. Nick, how's it going? By the way, guys, Nicholas is going to be on the Tuesday 10 forward stream, so make sure to tune in and take a look at the builds that Nick is showing off. It's Nicholas and Wolfgrey, was it for the other? Yeah, but the point is like the about the server, like the back end is already like the same. It's just a different user interface. Is basically what the what some of the engine people were saying a while back. Will this be a torp build? No. One of them I believe is a tank build, because Nick's been playing around with a tank setup on the Ethereum Salvation. If I could log into my account on PC, I'd spend loads of money, but playing on Xbox just doesn't appeal to me now. Like, if for those of you over on console right now, how many instances of the Winter Wonderland are there? Like on PC, the highest number I see right now is 38. But I mean, look at how many, you know, full instances there are. Like there's, you know, almost 40 instances, and many of these are, you know, full or very close to being full. Chef, I mean, a lot has changed in the time since where, you know, crossplay is now fairly standard. Think 5. Account mergers would be a nightmare. Yeah, I'm not saying necessarily mergers. I'm saying, you know, you just sign into your, you know, your account on whichever platform. You think there's 5? Does the Galaxy X Lance trigger Twinkle? I don't know, and even if it did, I don't know if that would be that impactful, because that's just one, you know, that's really just one target being hit by it. Yeah. I was gonna open DOF packs here. Do I have the space for that? No, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, Chef, that's true also. Like, you'd be better off to save the Lance for when the target is already debuffed by the other Twinkle stacks, so that you're getting more out of the hit. Like, Lances in general sort of suck, but if you have an opportunity to, you know, to maximize it, that would be the wisest move. Like, I got screwed over on those DOF packs. 4 instances on Xbox, none full. Yeah, hold on. I wanna look at this also. Let me start that the PlayStation back up for a second. So on PC right now, like almost 40 instances, and there's a ton that are full. If I start that PlayStation back up, let me change my monitor. Actually, I don't even have to do that. Just go like this. There we go. Now I can just use OBS to actually see my console screen. I can just go stream old. Oh. Yeah, I don't think Hellboy is going to be touched any further. We probably should have pushed that, or like the unban like 2 months ago or whatever, when that last fix happened. But yeah, I don't think anything else is going to happen to Hellboy. I want to go back over and just see how many people are on PlayStation right now, like on the winter map. And actually, I want to look at the prices over there. Okay, so map-wise, yeah, PlayStation definitely has more people than Xbox, based on what you guys are saying in chat. So I see 11 total instances. 11 total instances, 5 of which are full. Another that's close. So yeah, I mean, PlayStation's definitely in a much better position than Xbox right now. Now, if I look at, this would be the top one, wouldn't it?
Use friendly customer service.
If I look up like Bell. Yeah, I mean, that is a little bit more expensive than PC, so if I go back over to PC here, if I can get to the right window here. So you're looking at 10, basically you're actually looking at like 18k per unit for the Andorian Slave Elves. And if I go to PC and do the same search, oh boy. Yeah, so things are like 3 times the price over on console. That's rough. And to be clear, that's not me like trashing console. It's more of me just pointing out that they need to bring all the player bases together. Thank you, Mac. Okay. But yeah, that's why stuff is more expensive on console for the winter event. There's not people over there grinding it. Yeah, the ground weapon's really good. Scuba, thank you for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah. There's always someone running it in a pug. Oof. I don't really do pugs anymore. But yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Geistwolf, I think next Tuesday we'll see the Vanity Shield appear in the store. Like, it's just a bug that it's not there right now. Becky, how's it going? I think that was originally, a factor for it, Mike, but in the time since, we've seen other games, like go in and enable crossplay. What is this? Just give me a second, see what this message is. For whatever reason, USPS has, in the past week, taken 2 different packages that were meant to come to me and they've returned him to sender. That's really annoying. The isomags, cannons work fine with Rainbow, yeah. I'm not running any isomags right now. Yeah, CSV's best. Yeah, USPS is fun, yeah. It's like USPS net graph be spiking. One of them, yeah. One of them was an AliExpress order, and they sent it back. I need to pull this up on my computer because I was looking at it on my phone. Yeah, they just full on sent it back, saying the address was wrong or something. Yeah, it just says forwarded right now. Gotcha. Yeah, with the current Uncon meta, basically you want to have all of your console slots filled with really impactful consoles, and like when you really dive into those builds, like those consoles far outperform like an isomag. Yeah, I mean, one of my AliExpress orders was shipped back. It was right after we had like the first batch of snow recently. They just shipped it right back. Isomag is better if you don't have Uncon, yeah. I know a lot of people absolutely hate unconventional systems and what it's done to the meta, but it just, once you use it, it's so good. Basically every clicky console. There's a few exceptions like the Vern, but the majority of consoles work with it. I have this build basically posted over in the Discord, by the way. So if you go to curated builds, I have the plasma variant of this posted with like a full breakdown on everything on it. I don't have the rainbow variant posted quite yet because there's still testing going on to figure out which weapons are best there. But like the full build is like this modern mirror angle setup is posted over there. It's a slightly different variant in that post than what I'm using right this very second, but I mean that's how it's always going to be as I'm testing new stuff. Myth, how's it going?
Situation is grim.
Why do I run red matter? For the left side. So basically it's to counter the OSS subsystem shutdown over at the left side. So if you pay attention, when I go over to the left here, you're going to see that I hit red matter. And that's just explicitly to prevent like my weapons being shut down. Yeah, I'd love that.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Done. There's nothing that's available.
just messed that up. Or not.
Sensors confirm that the transwarp conduit is...
Sometimes the things just work out. Michi. Okay. There's the first sub 1 minute infected solo. Yeah, the first sub 60-second solo ISE. It's also the new record right there. Let's get that uploaded and thank you, thank you. 3.6 almost. I'm gonna open up the admin panel and get that approved right away. And any other parses that are currently pending. Claim hacks. Okay. Casual record break, yep. The first sub 60-second run. And almost 3.6 mil. Unban that Hellboy light. Okay, cheese. Resident Shock #1 there. Resident Shock is the proc from the Pavan Omni. 469k. Yeah, that was Rainbow. Bruin, how's it going? Dan, thank you for the bits. Fear the Rainbow? Yeah. So Resonant Shock 469. The prototype phaser hexacannons 274k. Well, I mean, there was already a thread on Stow Builds going over how the rainbow stuff was bad. So prototype phaser hexacannons 274. The full broadside console off the Corolla 255k. And remember, I'm on a CSV setup and it still did that. The Achilles console, damn. That's going to be a hard run to beat, to be honest. How many different weapon types? So in that very run, I had the Terran DHC on for Disruptor. Phaser was Covert. Polaron was Breen. Anti-Proton was Baul. And for Tetrion, there's no good Tetrions, so I just have a crafted one. Then I have the Plasmatic Biomatter Auto Turret from the Lobby store for Plasma. And then the Pavan Omni. Yeah, 215 mil damage. Yeah, that's going to be hard to beat. Michi's like, I take that challenge. Yeah, so... yeah, Plasma's been beat for record setting by Rainbow. Now, I still think Plasma's better to go with for most elite focus setups. Nope. So I was running Temporal Tunneling for some haste, Cultural Conquest, Inertial Supremacy for debuff, Particle Fluctuation Analysis off the Nebula for the buffs that has, then Ruin, UD, and Withering. Microvacs, I'm not worried necessarily about like the procs on the weapons. It's more about the speed. Inertial can go higher than SAD. Inertial, I hate how this list doesn't jump to it sometimes. Inertial can go above SAD because it's based on your potential speed, not your actual like current speed. So if I have evasive or deuterium up, you know, that's a bit more debuff than SAD. Singo, how's it going? Vaudewar dual cannons, the proc is per hit. Terrible. I thought, you know, protonic polaron's the way, right? But like, look at that Achilles console there. 250 on the microquantum torpedo detonation. Make sure you let everyone know that if they copy this build, they too can do this after a few tries. I've done like 200 infecteds this week trying stuff out, okay? Don't copy paste the build and expect immediate success. Now, to be fair, a lot of those infecteds didn't make it past the briefing phase, but yeah. Yeah, so the Terran Rep DHCs did actually do really well there, 230. The Yod Thought console, 197.7. The Bowel AP did really good. The Breen Polaron. The Phaser and the Tetron cannons lagged behind. Agony did its thing. Krenim did well. Look at there's the other part of the Achilles console. 99 plus 250 there, so 350k off of the Achilles console. David, thanks for stopping by. Oh no, Micro. Well, FMA, they're not the same. So complex is a starship trait, and the winter trait is personal space. I think that there's a way to blend them together. Like if they get the Pavin Omni working with this, with the rainbow trait and the Hexa cannons, that would help the plasma stuff a little bit. Yeah. Dolian warp crystals didn't do too well that time. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Shangri-La did well. My shield did quite a bit. How much did my shield do? So I'm using the Kittimer set shield, which has like a reflection when targets shoot you when your shield facing's down. So that did a fair bit there. It's a once per character purchase. I tried that ghast and it was really underperforming. It was just too slow. Let me mute my phone. Billy, Rainbow is definitely not intended to be the meta. Well, it's a meta for like the really high end, like for just general gameplay. Like I still think that the plasma setups are going to be better for just general elite. Darthon, I tried it and it was really doing. It was underperforming the other cannons quite a bit. There was a thread recently on Stow Builds about the rainbow setups. Let me find it. The thread got locked down. Is it worth buying the legendary bundle for the Nebula trait? Only if you're like a min-max focus player. I think if you don't want to be hitting a console every 10 seconds, then don't do it. Like, you have to hit a console every 10 seconds. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Yeah, this one here. Like, I got pinged on it, but by the time I actually saw this, like, the thread was locked down and it was chaotic. Yeah, the thing is, like, even before this trait, like, for the high-end Uncon builds, like, they don't use any isomags. So swapping between Phaser, Disruptor, Rainbow, like, they all have the same buffs going into them, so it didn't really matter. That was what I was saying about, like, Rainbow already being viable at the high end. Like, but there was no difference really between a Phaser specific setup or a Rainbow setup. And now with this this trait, like, yeah, Rainbow's got a huge advantage. Any other highlights here? Just the one Breen weapon with Polar on Frostbite did 14k off the proc. That's crazy. That got really lucky. I don't think they'll do it, Dildo. They don't want us just spamming infected over and over again. I mean, that's what I would do if that was like that. Yeah, Canon and BMI Smags exist, yeah. But yeah, that was crazy. Crazy right there. Now heals out. Let's see, how's my healing? Energy refrequencer carried me quite far there. As did the biomolecular shield. When you get to the really high end, you don't really need as much survivability because you can just power through. Like, you can kill things before they have a chance to kill you. And like figuring out the positioning, timing of what defensive buffs you have, like that helps. What about heals in? Yeah, it's just Biomol. To me, the biggest issue, the biggest issue when it comes to like cooldowns, aside from like the 30-minute wait before playing the same TFO, the bigger issue to me is how your abilities don't reset after you leave or enter a TFO or patrol or whatever. Like, when I leave a combat map and go back to a social map, like New ROM here, all of my abilities like QSM, attack and intel fleet, everything should be off cooldown. When I'm testing stuff, that ends up being the biggest waste of my time. I will go in, spend a minute in combat, and then I'm spending the next 4 minutes waiting for my cooldowns. That's just not a fun experience. There's some RNG there. Gotcha. I'm gonna drop that parse in Discord quick. Michi, I know you're gonna beat that. I've mentioned that over on the Discord before. Michi, are you gonna go spend a bunch of time trying to beat that? I've had some requests also to show off like build performance in some patrols. Starbase 234 came up recently for me. So let's take this in there. Just see how it goes. Michi finding motivation. Oh no. Just treat everything like it's the prep phase in Infected. Get the pre-buff going. Okay. Okay, let's see that. How much of that is going to be the Odd Thought console? So, because the Odd Thought console will strip shields off the target, if it's a target with really big shields, like what we just saw right there, the number can be pretty big. So, like 2/3 of my damage came from stripping the shields off of the starbase. How does one get a tier 6 coupon? You get them from various bundles in the C store. You can buy them off of other players in zone chat or trade channel. The event campaign gives some restricted ones. They'll give away one most likely around the anniversary. Yeah, but normally from bundles. Yeah. Tech, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so with this setup, there's basically no survivability. This is designed to just go in, do big burst damage, and that's it. Yeah, that would be really nice. I hope we see that. That would be awesome. Does anyone know a trade channel on PS4? Oof. You're probably going to be better to look at external out-of-the-game resources for that. Like, the Builds Discord has a trade channel. I don't know how many PlayStation people look at it. You know, to be honest, when you're looking at trades, it does become just a little bit harder over there. Yeah. Don't use Facebook. Yeah, I would say there's a subreddit for trades, STO trades. You could try that if you use Reddit. Otherwise, there's like the trade channel in the Builds Discord. Aside from that, maybe some PlayStation specific STO Discords. You know, might have something, but yeah. What are my thoughts on STO's high DPS? Should the game have players doing over 1 million DPS, or should DPS be capped? So capping DPS has always been something that gets brought up, and it goes against the monetization model of the game. If if they came in and said we're not going to let you do over a million DPS, like how would they even do that? Because there's so much going into builds. Like there's so many different damage sources. Like it would be bad. Like you would just kill the end game just out of being frustrated with like high performance. And how many people are even doing, that high a performance? If I pull up the current tables and I look at default here, yeah, I mean, yeah, the thing is DPS chasing gives people a thing to do at endgame. Like there isn't that much to do, long term for Stowe's endgame. So taking that away, like it would just it would damage the game. Um, yeah, capping DPS would absolutely hurt their financials. Like if there was a DPS cap and like they found a way to actually implement it, like you hit it and then what? Yeah, capping DPS is isolating your top 10% who's likely the money spenders. Yeah, it would be really bad. It would be just negative overall for the game. And look, I know that there's a lot of people in the community and even on the developer side that don't like the DPS meta, the DPS obsession, but like going in and hitting it, I just don't think would be wise. Yeah, so you cap it at 1 million, then they can never sell like anything new performance wise again. Like if you cap it at any specific number, then they lose the ability to market us new things based on performance. Like, yeah, I mean, you'd be getting rid of the end game for a lot of people. Like, it would be one of the stupidest things they could possibly do. You'd be basically going in and saying, F you to a part of the player base. Like, it just would be bad. Yeah, that's part of it too. The DPS chase isn't the main problem here. The main problem is more that there's nothing really good to do at endgame. Once you've been in here for a while, you create the endgame. That's why people do DPS chasing. Like we have to invent the endgame because they don't have one here that is meant to last a very long time. Like within 6 months to a year, you've played the entire game. So after that point, if you want to keep playing, you have to figure out new stuff you want to do. Um, remove the cooldowns, but just leave cooldowns on rewards. Yeah, that'd be fine too. I'd absolutely be fine with that. Ashtrek, how's it going? Stowe benefits and suffers from being too casual. Yeah. Okay. So how many people are over 1 million right now? If you want to tank the price of anything on the market, then yeah. Um, harder content is needed. Like harder battle zones would be like a good start for people. I think one of the bigger issues too is when we get to endgame, like a lot of the content out there, a lot of the TFOs don't really have much reason to replay them once you're done with the reputations. Like, I know that they moved away from this, but I miss the days of going in to a TFO, you know, explicitly because there's a piece of gear that has a chance to drop there. You know, the reasons to go in and do specific content. That was always cool. Elite Battle Zones would be great. Yeah, there's a lot of TFOs. Like Cryptic went through a phase of putting time gates on everything, and it just made a good chunk of content for a couple years just absolutely boring. Okay, I'm gonna go to the website because this is like a little bit slow. Wait, CLA can just scroll down. Hold on. Oh, this has pages too. Okay. Yeah, but there's people that have been around for 10 years that, you know, that are not doing that. Okay, so if let's do infected, elite, and let's just set the team. Yeah, there was a time where TFOs had gear drops. So like back in the day, like the Borg stuff, like if you wanted to get a piece of the Borg set, which is now in the reputation, you had to go in and play, you know, this specific like cure to get the engine or whatever. And it was like a 1% chance to drop, like stuff like that. They moved away from that because of how casual focused the game is. Everything is Stowe is meant to be super, super accessible. And like I understand why they did that, but at the same time, like I feel like that took away from things. Okay, let's see, page 20. Terrible. Okay, so page 20 is 285 in, and that's where we see the first people under 1 million. Or if I go back a page, there might probably be a few more. Okay. So the top 281 people on the table are above 1 million. There's 346 pages. Let's go back to... Yeah, the lowest on the table is 0 DPS. Okay. Let's look at the statistics. Yeah. How many of those pages are Cheops alts? Probably 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, I'd like to see some more innovations for the specializations. Like, add in more abilities for the existing specializations. Add in another specialization. I think that's something that they should really look into. Okay, so this one made things easier. Number of characters on the current table. Actually, let's do all time down here. So there's 43,600 on whichever space table this is. Of that, only 638 are above 1 million. I mean, look at that, though. There's like 11,000 people between 100 and 200k. Constable specialization needs a use, yeah. Your power to run a bunch of alts. Yeah. It's interesting to look at these numbers. I think this is ISA, probably this top one here, and then down here is ISC, I believe. So for ISC, you can see that the vast majority of people are below 100k. There's 21,000 people on the ISC ladders, and only 7,164 are over 100k. Hyper, I completely agree. I think specialization firing modes, I still believe that they should go away and just be buffs that you use alongside the other firing modes. I know that there's a lot of surgical strikes people that would be very upset with that, though. How many people are over 6 million? Terrible Cheops. You already know the answer to that. Yeah, Cheops, you're talking about yourself, and you are very elitist. You want surgical strikes on CSV hitting 3 targets? Yeah. Like, that'd be a major boost for, for some of those specialization firing modes that don't always see as much use. Yeah. Yeah, Singo, I agree. Like, there's combinations that they haven't done yet. But it's like they just keep going back, and lately we're seeing a lot of ships that are very similar to existing platforms. I need to find the sort of a filterable ship list here. Let me find one that's actually safe to stream. Okay, everything on here is released. Let's go back to wrong one. There we go. What filter do I have set right now? Okay. So, like, things that they haven't done so far. Miracle Worker, is a popular specialization as the primary. But when you look at, like, Miracle Worker Intel, that's a really popular combo, but they haven't done it on, like, a flight deck carrier. They haven't done it on a strike wing escort. Like, there's still a lot of existing combos that they haven't done. Carriers, I also think, that there's a lot of room for them to improve carriers. It's just a matter of will they go that way, or are they going to just continue making copies of existing ships? Yeah, if they add a new specialization, they can sell us the ships all over again, yeah. There are combos that haven't been done yet. I think I pointed this out on the recent Delon, where if I look at this, like there's no pilot and lieutenant temporal. Okay, I'm gonna steer back away from that because I'm having a realization. That's dying for another 521 Hangar Bay Fed ship, yeah. Like the strike wing escorts, especially, there's a lot of room for them to play around with those, but what category are those under? Let's just go over here. Let's do attack focus. Let's set up a hangar bay requirement and 5 forward weapons with the ability to run experimental. Like, there's not that many strike wing escorts out there. Like, there's a ton of room for them to go in and play around with some of these other ship classes, and we're just seeing like more basic cruisers, size ships, stuff like that. It's like, go give us more strike wing escorts. Give us more of the little carriers that they were doing with the Typhon. Fleet grade, yeah. Okay, there you go. 3, yeah. Delkina, Norway, and the Valdor. Like, come on. Give us more. Give us some more strike wing escorts. Give us something that beats the mere angle. Especially, you know, make it Romulan with a battle cloak, please. Please. Yeah. Valdor is so weird to fly. Cardassian Hutet flight deck carrier, please. Give me a Proxima carrier. Yeah, the point is, like, there's a lot of room for them to go in and still make new interesting ships. It's just, we need to see them making some other, like, covering these other ship classes more than they have been. If I expand this to 4, how many additional ships are there? Okay, there's a few others. Pilot command, yeah. Yeah, pilot command, pilot temporal. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Pilot command is permanently banned. Oof. Okay, I want to try a different phaser. Dan, it's your lucky day. You're gonna see me pull out one of these phaser 32nd centuries, but I need to grab a dual cannon. Yeah. Yeah, Bridger, I agree. Okay, we'll just go with that. Dan, thank you for the dono. I appreciate it. I don't have a major research boost here. Terrible. I could just use an epic, but where's the fun in that? Sand, how's it going? Damn, I got lucky on that one. Yeah, upgrade event is live on all platforms right now. In the news video yesterday, I did make a mistake and only say console. Or only PC. But that was incorrect. Mac, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I greatly appreciate it. Oh. Thank you, Mac. I don't think we'll ever see tier 7 ships. I believe X3, you know, is more likely. You know, we need more console slots. I mean, I would like to see a hangar bay, you know, added via X3. Starship traits also. Like, even though the difficulty of the game hasn't increased in, you know, several years at this point, like, they still have to give us extra slots to make sure that we're still buying new stuff, because the danger that they run into of like not giving us enough slots is that it becomes easy to, you know, fit the slots you have with good stuff, and then you don't need to buy anything new. Okay, that's not going to be enough, but let's get this done. Modifier-wise, I basically only ever do crit damage on the epic mod and damage for everything else nowadays. Of course. Let's go to rare. I'll spend a little bit more, but just get a bit more salvage done here. Is this enough? There we go. Yeah, I think it can handle three hangar bays. They just have to adjust the entity count. Frigate slots is the best way to buff the old Psy carriers. They need to add in more good frigates. Yeah, frigates generally suck. That's the issue with a lot of hangar pets, is there's a lot of hangar pets in the game, but most of them just suck. Okay, let's go in and give that a go here. I know solos are not the most entertaining thing for people to watch, but it's like, for me to get consistent testing done with this stuff, it's the best way. A little snow and your whole cell network starts lagging. Yeah. Do I know? Yeah, the 2026 event campaign box will have the Ethereum Salvation in it. Yes. Terrible Mac. Terrible Chiaps. Very terrible. There we go. Okay.
The situation is grim. All attempts to hail the starbase have failed. We must assume the enemy has taken...
If you could force your frigates to use Surgical Strikes 3, for example, that'd be cool. So I'm spamming the Ilios toggles on and off to build up the legendary Nebula stacks in prep phase. As you can see, I'm already at 9 stacks of the Nebula trait. I'll be at 10 here now. So I'll carry those through the starting group and the left, and then they'll probably drop off as I go from left to right.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Got it. Just don't think that quick.
Good start.
The nanite probe. Repair the transformer. Stop that.
be as good as that last round. It's already slower. $316 on that. Let's see, how did that phaser do? Did it do any better? Prototype phaser Hexacannons, 301k. Terran did good again. That dual bow anti-proton coming in right behind it, though. The phaser's still lacking behind. It's still way down there. The Tetrons also, them poor bastards. Solo Draenor Gauntlet Elite when?
The situation is grim.
Yeah, the ROM drone pets being unlocked for all carriers would be awesome. Honestly, I'm going to mention that in the video. Why not use Phaser, Terran Task Force, and Spiral Wave Disruptor? Could try that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Where is the Phaser one here? And then I can do Spiral Wave. I've tried like Zap Vash, Spiral Wave. Nothing's been quite perfect yet. Radiolytic can still pull their weight. I haven't tried. Like, I haven't gotten around to doing that. Weapons lacking behind will have to do with your endeavors. I mean, my endeavors are fairly well developed on this. Like, the difference between, like, beta, gamma, alpha, like, it's not that enormous. Just a couple percent of Cat 1. Need all the salvage. Gonna go through and do this here quick. Just buy up a bunch of consoles and Dave, thank you. 0. Yeah, I gotta support these alternative markets. Okay. That will hopefully be enough. If Hanger Pet can gravel, that'd be funny. Yeah. You know, some other pets that used to be really good are like the sticks ones. Those used to be popular for, well, the sticks when that was like the top tank platform. The friendship I think has taken over a bit there. The sticks is still really good though. If that is not enough, I'm going to be very sad. The game is going to screw me over. Okay. I was about to say, like, leaving the exchange there was like the equivalent of putting a side panel on a computer before you've turned it on to make sure it's working. That may still happen here. I may get screwed. 2 more goes. No. I'm gonna have to go back to ground. Oh, lucky. Right at the end. Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Tetrons are the weakest. That's just there isn't really a good Tetron. We need better Tetrons. Yeah, that was a close call right there. It was messing with me, yeah. It really was. Dan, I didn't even see the bits there. Thank you for that. What Polaron am I using? The Breen Polaron. The Breen Imperium Polaron are really good. Like, they are legitimately amazing Polarons. Now, there's a bunch of other things listed on the tooltip here, because this is going to show all the traits, DOFs, that I have on. What if Tetron had a guaranteed 1% shield drain? I mean, that'd be better. Okay, I can go back in. The issue with don't the resonating Tetrons have like a proc modifier? My issue with those, if it is one of those, is like that 2.5% proc. It's never going to do as much as like a damage mod or a crit D mod. Yeah, so for the very, very high end, dual cannons are better because of the credence console. The dilithium transporter, because you're getting more shots off that it can squeeze a bit more damage out of that. If you don't have the credence console, and if you're like below 2 million, then dual heavy cannons are still like perfectly fine. No, I'm just using a damage 4 Tetron because there's so much debuff in here that the pen will fall behind. Pen falls behind when there's like 140 debuff, and I'm very much there.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Got it. Additional data available. The nanite probe will repair the transformer. Stop them.
Go.
The probe is moving in on the transformer. Destroy it.
I just messed that up. Really slowed down at the end there. Yeah. Does it beat complex plasma fires for ISE record chasing? Yes. For just general elite gameplay? No. Like, if you have a high-end complex plasma fire setup going, I would not be dropping it. You can just drop one cannon for like a Terran Rep DHC, and that is, you're going to be getting a bit from Twinkling Lights just doing that. Like, if you're on a plasma setup, just drop one cannon for a Terran Rep DHC of your choice, Phase or Disruptor, doesn't matter, and call it a day. Because the issue is, like, this setup, this does crazy numbers in... This does really crazy numbers in Infected, but in any other environment, like, you're losing that plasma dot, which is really beneficial for taking out secondary targets, for being able to move away and move on to the next target faster. Like, that plasma dot does a ton for you, so for just general elite gameplay, that is still what I recommend. What this means is that Rainbow is viable. Like, it's very competitive. I mean, it's got the top spot right now, but I would still, like, outside of chasing the infected numbers, I'd still just do plasma. Plasma and just slap like the Terran Rep DHC on, which is what I posted over in the Discord. So the build is posted over in the CasualSAB Discord, in the Spencer's Builds channel. I've also got it posted over in the Builds Discord. That is like the current, or a variant of the current like meta build for solo infected, but I'd also just recommend you be careful copying that exactly one for one. There's basically no survivability on the build. It's all damage, so it's set up for ISE. Did the spiral do better? Let's go take a look. I see that I have a message. Oh no. Oh no. I'm concerned. Holy. Nick! 50 gifted. 50 gifted, Nick? Christmas present? Dude, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Nicholas, I really... Man. I just looked at Discord and saw your message, and I looked up and was like, well, now Mac just feels bad, Mr. One Upper. Go buy yourself some orange chicken. I will. I will. Actually, what I'll do is I'll offload that task to my mom because she's taking Willow out to the doctor here soon. Because Willow's got a nice bug she brought back from school. Nick, thank you. I'm gonna be updating the members list after this. What's the console, the first universal slot? It's off the brain yacht thought. It's the shield frequency overload. Oh no, Chiaps. Nick. Thank you, man. Does this ship come in another configuration? No, but you can make it look like the other angle variants. Jonesy, thank you for the gift, or the continuing the sub there. I appreciate it. Hope we had some overlap. Third tack console is Spirit of Sacrifice off the Trafalgar. Yeah, there's a lot of comments over in the build thread also about some of these newer items like Spirit of Sacrifice. There's some discussion on Twinkling Lights and then the Nebula trait. Like there's a bit of convo in there if you want to go through and like read into some of the stuff a bit more. Love the output, just not the shape, yeah. That's understandable. Yes, AES has been displaced on the very, very high-end build. I don't even have Valdor, the Valdor console on. But yeah, there's other skins for this. Absolutely loving the new ground weapon. Yeah, I've got the new ground weapon here too. I just haven't upgraded it. I also don't have any ground traits slotted. Do I even have my skill tree done for ground? I do. Wow. That's surprising for me. Yeah, there's going to be a build video very soon. The one that people have been waiting for like half a year. Yeah, I hear it might actually be happening. Can you believe it? I can't. Can I speedrun the ground patrol in 2 minutes? Let's just slot some stuff here. I think I have Hive Mind on my bridge officers. Nick is looking at this very sad, seeing I didn't even have ground traits slotted. Nick is a ground fanatic. Yeah, I know, terrible. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. So let's see how this does in the ground patrol. None of the traits, yeah. So all of these like Jupiter stations I go into for my dailies, that's been done with like no traits. I'm using Superior Romulan Operative.
You've arrived. Good.
I did not say the 15th. I have a sponsored video going out on the 15th or 16th. I was sent another mouse and they want me to have the video out. I have to send them a copy of the video Monday and then release it Tuesday. It's not going to be a normal review though, because they're paying me for it. So Jesus, I like this. These Borg are just getting their asses handed to them. I don't even have it buffed up. It fires as fast as you press the button. Okay, I love this thing.
Janeway's trapped in transport
Okay,
room 1.
that I might buy that for all my bridge officers. Jeez.
Heads up, incoming hostile. Damn. Yes, partial transporter active. Sight to sight on.
That is crazy. It's like a top tier ground weapon right there. Probably going to be annoying in randoms. How many shots? I don't even know. More like Geneva checklist at this point? Yes.
Proceed. Get to the transporter room.
And there was just recently a, what was it? There was a ground set that like you slotted and you don't have to deal with the adaptation, right? So if I go to reclaim, ground equip. Yeah, it's the elite hazard stuff, right? Like how many of those pieces do I have to have on? Is that like a 3-piece requirement? Okay, you know what, screw it. I'm going to be getting another 16 ultimate upgrades here in like 2 or 3 months, so I'll burn it on a couple items. There we go. Like, this is just... Scotty, thank you for the sub. Bro. I don't do ground much, but this is crazy. Like, I'm gonna go grab a couple of these for my entire bridge officer crew and just see what happens. I'm gonna bail out of this. Work with auto fire. That's a good question. Let me go out here and we're gonna go back in after I grab another 4 of these. I don't even have it like re-engineered, but like that's just crazy. The wrong tab. Winter event. And it's so dirt cheap here. Like, just 15 earmuffs, bullion candles, holiday ornaments, and the Vulcan incense. Like, it's nothing. Like, that is nothing. Okay. Do I upgrade them for my bridge officers? I'll be nice. My bridge officers go through a lot of suffering, so it's the least I can do for them, right? I'm gonna go just whale tier here. Look, I'm going all the way. Fireball squad, yeah. Okay, what is my bridge officer crew? SI SRO TAC 1. This dude don't have a weapon? Poor bastard. No wonder he's got so many injuries. Okay. Let's go in here and see how this goes. Oh, the giveaways ended, didn't they? I should get Mara's Gunslinger build. Yeah, and Johnny, thank you for sponsoring all those.
Arrived. Good. You'll forgive me if I...
Is this the day that he heals them? No. That ain't gonna happen. Grim, you won a... Nice. T6 coupon. Very nice. Yeah, if you've won any of the giveaways from Boggle, make sure to go in and respond on the thread under the giveaway post. So there were those in the CasualSAB and the Builds Discords, and there is a few other giveaways still up in the CasualSAB Discord. Okay, so the promo ship was won by Kaliko, and the Black Box ship by Zizan. Congrats. Normally I just let my bridge officers go in on their own and die. Like, isn't that how it's supposed to be? Dude, this just... Like, these Borg, they certainly are not happy right now. This is absolutely getting the board hammer.
Heads up, incoming hostile. Damn. Here's partial transporter access. Site to site only.
One of my bridge officers still died. Doesn't deserve to be brought back up.
You're clear to proceed. Get to the transporter room.
Yeah, this is... This is just brutal. Where are the rest of my bridge officers? Like, what are they doing back there? Does this gun proc Tenavik? I don't know. Well, I don't do ground stuff that much. You guys gotta remember, I'm like, I'm detached from ground. Yeah, the range is terrible. Gotcha.
Damn, she's beaming out.
good news is she only had Act Glad.
Yeah, I know. There we go. He's back up.
Take down 4 crows and drop her shield. Her shield is down. Now's your chance. Open fire. Janeway's down. Deal with any remaining crows while you can.
It's just so much chaos. It's fun. It's fun. Oh no. This is what Nick sends me. Away team guide. Oh, terrible. Gotcha. Help those poor souls? Look, there's not enough injuries on them to help them yet. Like, look at this. Not even, only 2 of them have more than 1 in the stack? Like, what? These bridge officers are slacking right there. Look at that. This is how they should all be. They should be, you know, stacked up with like 10 injuries or 10 stacks on each of the injuries. Very disappointed in them. If they can, if they can still hold a phaser, Spencer won't help them. Oh no. How much did Nick pay Deca to get on the dev build stream? I thought he was blacklisted. Wow. Look, I'm surprised that they're allowing convicts on there, you know? I was in voice with Nick the other night, and like I started up my recording without telling him, and I asked him, so Nick, how do you, like, is there anything you want to tell folks about, you know, being on the stream this Tuesday? He recognized that I was recording very quickly, but his response was, you know, just the appropriate Australian response of F off. No, Nick will do fine. Nick will, he'll do a great job. He's been putting a lot of work into preparing his builds. You had no idea the angle was so big? So casually let the C word slip? Wow. Darthon, welcome back. No one is buying your cheap large oxbats? Oof. All my my batteries lately are coming from the Dill store. Thought the C word was just Aussie for hello. Terrible. So I've been doing a lot with the mirror angle, but you know, I just accidentally hit the wrong ship as I was trying to go to scroll down the list. I'm gonna go to the Etherean Salvation. Okay. We expect better. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I let you down. I recognize that. What flavor torp? Just go with a Maelstrom. Like, I know Maelstrom's, you know, a bit basic, but it hits so damn hard. Like, if you want it to look a little bit different, you can do the trifluoride one. It's just not a good ship. That's why it's called that. Okay. Let's do Public Queue, Hive Onslaught Elite. Public queue of Hive Onslaught for those that want to shoot some Borg here. I really do like the visuals of this ship. I just wish it was a flight deck carrier. I know I've said that a couple times, but damn. Also, this ensign engineer does hurt it. You know, I've tried that before and I didn't find too much from it. I mean, I can give it a go again if I have it here. I remember I tried it not too long ago and just was not seeing much benefit from it. I need to do some more weapons testing, to be honest. Like, figure out what is actually like the best stuff to use for the rainbow setups, because we really don't have that locked in right now. It's still not enough inventory space. I need more. I need a device inventory. If they allowed me to double my inventory space, I'd still find a way to fit, like to fill it. Okay. May this be a lag-free run. I've got a Cheops in here. Oh, I gotta put that vanity shield back on. Does look really good. Yeah, there we go. Got two Tronified ships in here now.
Warning, ship is under attack.
It's always a good sign when we start like moving forward this early in.
This vessel, and I will claim another.
Oh yeah, this is great. Look at his lag. What there was even left? Terrible. Not a great run, a little bit laggy there.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this
Oh, this
vessel,
feedback is going to
and
destroy
I will
me.
claim another.
Or not. Took a while. We already lost Cheops? No. Yeah, it's a really good looking ship. It's perfectly
I
adequate for getting through any
control
content in the
every
game.
Every drum speaks of my voice.
They designed it for like being, you know, for maximizing uncon, but there's ways it could have been better. The ensign engineer, that hurts it uncon wise.
The end.
And no hangar bays, obviously, makes it just not matter for like the high-end meta. Take pride in sub-nuking the diamond with this high. Spencer is getting harder to please in his old age. So, this is a good ship, okay? Ethan, yes, so long as the travel time on him isn't bad, then that's fine. Like, if they have fast travel time, that's perfectly fine. The Ethereum Salvation is a good ship, okay? But it's not as good as it could have been. And, you know, I know not everything needs to be the best, but, like, this is a good ship, but it doesn't beat the existing platforms.
Only fools
Because
dream
of some of the
victory,
decisions that were made.
where none can be had.
For instance, the Ensign Engineer. If that had been a Universal or a Psi, that would have been another Uncon right there. We don't really use the Ensign level Intel Uncon viral impulse burst because of the activation time on it. So, had the Ensign Engineer been a Science, I could have run like a jam targeting there and then had a scramble here. So there's room there for there to have been another Uncon. Then of course the ship not having hangar bays, like it's like a Cylon base star or what were people saying, the Almighty from Destiny 2? Like it's a ginormous ship. Like if this had had hangar bays, that would have been amazing, and meta wise that would have been 2 bays of Type 7s. But you know, I think outside of like the high-end meta, you know, it's not as important to have the hangar bay. The hangar bays are still, you know, helpful, but it's not as big of a deal to folks. They just don't care. But meta-wise, if the ship doesn't have a hangar bay, it ain't meta. That's just the reality of the meta right now, is especially with things being solo focused. If it doesn't have a hangar bay, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I know, I was just rambling a little bit. Yeah, there's nothing special about battlecruisers, yeah. The World Raiser is a very good ship. If you are not chasing the, like, very bleeding edge min-max performance, if you're not chasing, you know, trying to set, like, a top record on Infected or whatever, you're fine. It's a very capable ship, and especially in, like, a public queue environment, you know, it's gonna do amazingly well. But from, like, a, you know, just strictly speaking from, like, a meta assessment, like, of what is actually going to be capable of going in and... Yes, like Chiap said, like, unless you're like really pushing everything to the limits, it doesn't really matter. Like it, 99.9% of people don't need to worry about that hangar bay. But if you're like trying to push the numbers, Type 7s are really impactful. Do I think we'll see a promo ship in the Lobby store again? Probably not. Do Psi Torp mixes. The Torps are too slow, so we don't tend to use them, but I know a lot of people still use Maelstroms. Yeah, I know Chiaps. I'm saying things that only matter to like really performance focused players. I know. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, yeah, with the meta builds, we don't really use a Torp right now. Instead, we get the Torps from consoles like the Achilles or the Shangri-La console. I did set up a Space Magic build on the stream I did on Tuesday, if you want to look back at that VOD. But there's also, in the builds Discord, there are some science builds posted in there if you want to look around. We also have a new curated build section, but I don't think, there's not too much posted in there yet. But like Parrot's got a Psi EPG arc rail posted. That's still a bit uncon focused though, so that's not going to be exactly what you're probably looking for. But there's quite a few builds posted in there though. It's also the specific discussion channels for each of the like common playstyles. The hangar bays are really impactful. I recently, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I did some testing between the Terran Monitor and the Legendary Nebula. I also did a couple runs on the Monitor without the hangar bays, or without anything slotted in the hangar bays. And it was like a 20 to 25% increase. It was somewhere right around there. Like 20 to 25% increase by putting the 2 bays of Type 7s on. Yeah. Like the Type 7 pets are really impactful. Have I tried the new console with the ball anti-proton beams? Nick has. Nick was getting like 80k out of the Pentachoric. Like on a very weapons focused setup, that does really well. Yeah, the Hexa cannons, like when your piloting is right, is they're just crazy good. It's like adding another 2 dual heavy cannons to a CSV setup, basically, in my experience. Yeah. Okay. Infected's up. Let's go ahead and do that. Public queue of infected, the conduit elite. Unfortunately, it does not. Yeah, so the Kittimer shield does not count for Twinkling. Neither does the Hexa cannons or the Pavanomni right now. I don't know which of those is going to be addressed with future updates, but we'll find out. Is Plasma CSV or Rainbow build better? I would still recommend Plasma for 99% of people. Like, Rainbow has the current ISC record, but it's a bit of work that has to go into it, and I think just going with the Plasma setup for endgame elite play, especially if you're doing more than Infected, is just the way. Like, you can just take your Plasma CSV setup and slap like a Terran cannon on it, Terran Rep DHC,
Situation.
and you've got another stack of Twinkling. Like, just do that. Rainbow's not better in team play. Yeah, it's more of like a solo record chasing. What about if you don't have the Plasma trait? Then yeah, the Rainbow would win out.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
The Plasma dot does a lot of work.
Scanning the nanite transformer.
Hell yeah.
Gun. Additional
Look at that.
data available.
Fire will misfire right off the bat. The run's already worthless.
The nanite probe will repair the transformer. Stop that.
Yeah, basically, unless you're like doing a carrier focused setup, the Type 7s are going to be better. And like, you're doing the carrier focused setup basically for the theme.
Probe is closing in on the transformer. Destroy it.
Core shield failing.
A probe is closing in on the transformer. Destroy it.
I didn't realize my gravel was like off my tray. Does that ship fit in
Sensors
the vault?
confirm that the
Sidel
transport
should.
conduit has been destroyed. However, our scans
Like,
of the
it's as
starbase
wide
must
as like
be
some of the
disrupted.
Enterprise J variants, like the ROM one, right? So, what was that green lightning effect? The console from this ship. Yeah, Twinkling Lights is way cheaper than a Gorn Hunter. Yeah. Yeah, Rainbow will. That's true. Especially if they address the way that this works on secondary targets, because right now it's just applying the debuff to one target per weapon per firing cycle. Yeah. We both did over 3 mil max one, so we got a double agony bug on the start, most likely. Let's look at the graph here. Not that big. Not like a traditional. Max one hit. Those numbers are very similar, though. That looks like a bugged agony. Yeah, bugged agony. We hit agony on the cube around the same time, so it took both activations. But what is my favorite looking ship? I'm a big fan of the Romulan ships. The Scimitar, you know, is a ship that I like. The Alkina, of course. The Mogai. Like, I'm just a really big fan of the Romulan ships, but just none of them right now are doing what I need them to do for how I'm playing. The Daredex is cool. For the Feds, I also like the Sovereign. Yeah. Slinus, thank you for the casual membership. Greatly appreciate it. I would like to see more older ships get re-released with new stats. I think that's one of the things too. We were mentioning, earlier about like how a new specialization would benefit them. Like if they came out with a new specialization and were able to start re-releasing some older ships, due to that, that'd be good. I don't know what to say to have in the new specialization. That would take a bit of brainstorming, but I just feel like long term for them, doing T7 ships is not really viable. They're already basically doing that anyways with the T6X2 and the eventual X3. But just doing new specializations, I think would be the way. Imagine all the ships they could sell if they release a new power creep specialization. Yeah. Yeah, and eventually too, some of the power creep that we're gonna see, like as they're looking for new combos to do, it's just like a matter of time until we get like a ship that actually has like 3 specialization seats, or like dual commander specializations. Like it feels like that's just a matter of time. In fact, I would say the Intel Holo ship was already basically the first one to break that barrier. Universal spec seat could be interesting. I don't think they would do universal spec seat, but that is certainly an approach they could do. But just like imagine like a commander intel ship with like a lieutenant temporal, and what else could they do? Lieutenant pilot or something. Like there's some weird combos that they could do. You just notice the name of my ship. Look, I have so many ships that it's easiest for me to just name them what they are. By the way, the ship naming issue was resolved with the winter patch. I forgot to mention that in the news video. So like the Cyclone, the Norway, they have the right names, and for the Protostar and the Dauntless 2, those again have the correct stats on them for the modifiers. How do I have so many normal infiltrators? Money. If you want me to be honest. The normal infiltrators, like, I kept a good eye on the market for a long time. Like, what'll make some people really salty is that for some of these infiltrators, I spent less than $1 million on them. Yeah, the report that I got says that the World Razor name should be fixed also. But yeah, normal infiltrators, you need these for maximizing cloak ambush if you're doing one of those setups, where you can stack a basic infiltrator, and superior infiltrator together to get like 30 seconds of cloak ambush, or 27.5. Yes, the best science is still the Arc Royal in my opinion. Because you've got 2 hangar bays, you've got the temp intel combo, you've got a secondary deflector. Yeah. So I'm just checking something. Jason, there's a chance that they might do a T6 coupon 3-pack with the upcoming winter sales, which start up on the 17th. There's a chance they may do that, but it's not guaranteed. Outside of that, there is no direct T6 ship coupon that you can go and pick up outside of like the bundles, the ones that are included in bundles. So like if you buy the Legendary Battlecruiser bundle, You know, that would come with a T6 coupon. That's how many of these bundles work. But if they do the T6 coupon gift pack in the store, then that would be 3 T6 coupons for $45. The turn monitor, the turn monitor and the Arc Royal, they're basically right there up against each other. What else other than the Battle Cloak would make the Angle the perfect ship? Oof. That's a good question. Like, what could you do to make the mirror angle better? A second hangar bay? No. If they did that, we'd lose the experimental. Yeah, I mean, being like a Romulan ship with the Singularity Core would be better for me in my immersion, because I like the Singularity Core abilities. I'm weird, I know. Like, how could they make this better? The console layout literally does not matter anymore. Yeah, that is sort of the fun thing. The answer is they don't. OSS 3 would be like the only thing, but I mean, if they did that, yeah. So basically, drop the ensign and make this a lieutenant commander. A lieutenant commander here for OSS 3. And then we could do one of the intel uncons here that I'm blanking on the name of. What was it? Ionic Turbulence. And then we would just drop like the jam targeting to move the tractor beam down there. I don't even know if that would really matter much, Nick. I mean, yeah, you'd get the temporal stuff, which I guess it's a little buff. It wouldn't be... It's hard. Like, the angle is damn near perfect. Well, it says World Razor, but it should say Temporal Juggernaut, not Command anymore. Okay. Terrible Infected is on a 19-minute cooldown. What else am I supposed to play? Let's do it, Kittimer. Kittimer Vortex Elite. This will be the last TFO. Then I gotta go. The niece has a doctor's appointment, I think, at like 3:15. So I need to go get the car cleaned off and stuff. Also, Nicholas, you're not funding Orange Chicken. You're funding more storage for the server.
There are 2 active Borg transwarp conduits in this system, along with a stable spatial rift, which is the Borg.
What are the benefits of a science vessel other than the looks? It's just the science playstyle, basically. Yeah, the ability to slot Gravel 3. Oh, you got a heat wave up there, Jonesy? The heat wave? You guys are lucky. What are we at here? Okay, actually, you are colder. It says it's 7 degrees here. Up 8 degrees. Heat wave. That debuff is just so damn powerful. There's still stuff left. No. Okay. There we go. Good job, everyone. 41F here, yeah. Let me take a look. Let's see how the exact weather. Sora, thank you for the gifted. I just saw that pop up, and you did one 4 minutes ago also. Thank you for that. Sorry I didn't notice the prior.
The scimitar has been destroyed, but sensor...
Okay, CCI, let me see the weather here. It looks like the snow's basically passed, but let's see. Temperature. Heat wave, look at that. It's going to be 9 degrees, but it feels like -5. The low today is a -6. And then tomorrow is going to be another cold one. It's going to start to heat up Monday, though. So all the snow that we have on the ground will melt on Monday, refreeze overnight, melt again Tuesday, refreeze, and then it should melt and disappear. Like that's a nice warm-up next week. And yeah, Nicholas, this is this may be something I bought. Okay, I need to bail out, go get the car cleaned off, because Willow, my niece, has a doctor's appointment at 3:15. I know it's Saturday, but thankfully we have a walk-in clinic open on the weekends, and she needs to go. She's got like a bug she caught at school, so I need to go get the car cleaned off, all that fun stuff. Just need its console, yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you again for all of the gifts throughout the stream. Nick, that 50 is crazy. Mac, the 5, much appreciated. Sora, thank you as well. Dan, of course, thank you for the bits. Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone else here. Yes, thank you for all the gifted. I'll make sure to get some more orange chicken. Okay. Let me see, who do we have on Twitch right now? Wolf Gray, there we go. I'll send you guys over to Wolf Gray. They're going to be streaming over on the dev stream on Tuesday as well with Nicholas. So let me send folks over their way. Okay, the raid started. Yeah. There's still some giveaways up in the Discord, so make sure to check out both the CasualSAB and Builds Discord and enter any that are still up. And I will see you guys around.